Hey boys, this is Toolbox Tour Part 2. In the previous video that I'll link right up here, I discussed that I wanted to intentionally skip over bits because I felt like there was enough going on here that it deserved its own segment of time, and I didn't want to make the previous video obnoxiously long. So let's get right in this. Why this instead of, say, a complete bit set from Snap-on or Matco or Craftsman or just whoever? Well, most of those bit sets aren't complete. They're missing several things, either larger sizes, smaller sizes, or they skip less common sizes in the middle. The one bit I can tell you for sure most of them skip is this right here. This is a T9. T9 is real. It's an actual size that's actually used in some electronics. Rarely, but it is used. So since it's used, and it's the same money to do it this way or that way, why not go ahead and piece your own set together that's going to be more complete? That was my thinking, and that's what I did. And that's why I did it. So let's get into it. This is a Wiha bit selector. These are IP, or Torx Plus. IP is the designation for Torx Plus. Like for, let's say, a Phillips number 1, it's PH1, or Phillips number 2, it's PH2. IP is that designation, but for Torx Plus. So if you see an IP 10 head, that's well, that's a 15, so that means that's a 10. This is an IP 10, and IP is Torx Plus, just like PH is Phillips. Hope that makes sense, because I said it 3 times. The cool thing about this little bit selector is it turns into a screwdriver, or bit driver, I suppose, an IP driver. So there you go. Now, is it a great screwdriver? No. It's not a great IP driver either, but it'll get you where you need to be in a pinch. And it's a fair price, and you get all the bits in here all the way down to IP7. So there's IP7. And I went ahead and took the time to buy individually a Wiha IP6 and a Wiha IP5. So that's Torx Plus. Now Torx, what I did for Torx was, you don't run across a lot of IP or Torx Plus. The only place I ever run across Torx Plus is in firearms. But I do run across them because I am a gun guy. So that's why I made sure to have them. This is another Wiha set. It's the Production Torx Bits set, and it is product number 72595. Of all the stuff I have here, this set is probably the easiest to get and really, really nice. So you get all the way from 7 without skipping sizes to 40. And when I say without skipping sizes, it's got T9, which is a popular size to skip. And this is the Power Torque series. You get these at O'Reilly Auto Parts. If you're a member of the Cool Kids Club at O'Reilly, every so often they'll send you a $5 or $10 coupon. It's just, you know, here's 10 bucks to spend at the store. I want to say these sets are like 10, 12 bucks a piece. I've got the SAE and the Metric, and they're really good. This is the one I've used the most. Is this 1/4 inch. It's the 1/4 inch head, and it's a 1/4 inch drive. It's really, really stubby. It's really, really durable. And these carry a lifetime warranty. If you break the bit, you bring the bit back to O'Reilly and they give you another one. Over here, I've got a Micro Torx set. These go all the way down to, that is a T1. See how tiny that is? I've never seen a T1. Never seen one. But again, for the money of a bit set from, say, Blue Point, I bought all this stuff, and I do have a T1 if ever I run across one. These are pretty cool. So, you know, let's say you do it this way, and you decide I'm not going to buy 500 bit sockets. Because when you buy a bit socket like this right here, most of what you're paying for is the socket. So I think this one socket costs like $1 less than this whole set of bits. But it's a socket. What if you need a socket? Well, here's the solution. So this is a 1/4 inch drive bit holder. And this is made by a company called Wera, W-E-R-A. And the product number And I have the same thing in a 3/8 drive, and it is, and the way they work is it's got a little quick release locking deal. So you put the bit in, and with some degree of struggle, because it holds really tight, it'll lock onto your bit, and that is very, very secure. And there you go. The tolerance on this is very, very tight. And the nice thing about it is it does make for a nice solid connection. This set is a XZN set, the triple square set, and these are from VIM Tools. There's lots of videos on VIM Tools if you're not familiar with them. VIM is a California company that imports Taiwan-made tools, and their bits are made out of S2, which most bits are made out of S2, but they're well hardened and they're well coated and they last. I believe, and this is just me thinking here, I believe this set that I know to be very, very good, very, very hard, and pretty much indestructible is made in the same factory as this set. Now, again, I can't prove that to you. I've just got a hunch. So, and I base that hunch on the coating similarities and just the quality in other videos of VIM bits and the quality I've experienced with these guys. So VIM XZN set, got these off Amazon. And this is another, this again from KC Tools. So they come very nicely on these sockets. And another nice thing is there's a snap ring in here, so you need a pair of pliers to pull the bit, but there's just a set screw, and then you can pull that bit out and change the bit, or change the socket, or use the socket for another bit. So a high degree of versatility there. But these are security Torx. And this over here is a security Torx set that I have of Craftsman. And the reason I've got both sets in here, honestly, is because security Torx bits are kind of prone to breaking. And since I already own these, in fact, you can see I've changed the bit out here. Since I already own those, I went ahead and put them in here. In the backpack here, I've got two sets. This is an SAE and a metric set, and they both came, these are Bondus USA, and they both came in blow molded cases. One case was about this big and the other about yay big. So these two sets took up this whole drawer before I foamed this drawer. There we go, and here's a 10mm Bondus. I'll do a review of these because I ran into a problem with a long ball head, and this set would have been the solution had I owned them. So I'm going to review these separately, but Bondus USA, you want to skip the review, that's good stuff. This is the rest of the bit story. I have not yet got foam for the drawer that I have available for these bits in my box. Once I get the foam in, I'll do a video foaming that box. I will probably retain at least one of these trays, maybe both, likely both, honestly. These are Ernst manufacturing trays. They're made in America, and they really do hold bits well. What these bits here are is an SAE and metric Wera Hex Plus profile bit set. And I'll just show you these, and I'll not get too big into them other than to show you that dished out, you see in the light here how they're dished out? That really helps hold to the fastener. I did a whole video on these bits, and I'll link it right up here. Then over here, these are just Harbor Freight impact drivers. I like these, man. These are cheap. There's a couple of different options when it comes to the Harbor Freight bits nowadays. You got like Bauer and Hercules and Warrior. These are just the old bottom of the line Harbor Freight. Bottom of the line at Harbor Freight, not bottom of the line because it's Harbor Freight. So this is like orders of magnitude the bottom of the line, as these are the Warrior brand. They work really well, man. I haven't had a problem. I haven't broken one yet. Which one gets a lot of abuse? That right there gets beat to hell. 5/16. So that fits all kinds of sheet metal screws, you know, like for building a roof or whatever. And this guy gets wore out all the time, and he's done fine. What's another good one to 3/8? Again, bigger sheet metal screws. This sucker gets beat on all the time. No issues whatsoever. The coating's even held up. Some bit drivers. And then over here, I've got some, these are the Makita wobbles. They wear out rather quickly, but they do have a lot of angle to them, so you can really, twist your socket off sideways if you need to. So these are made by Apex. These are American made, and I think these are mostly used in the aircraft industry. And what they are is a swivel, and when you set it swivel, this retaining ring has a spring in it. It holds it off to the side for you. So if you had it, cattywampus like that, and you had a screw in it, you could kind of get into a tight spot and tighten the screw. And it's kind of a double, more of like a rack and pinion, I guess, design. There's a rod this way that swivels, and then there's a pin through it that swivels. So you got everything's loose and swivelly, so it swivels better than most swivel sockets. How many times did I just say swivel? I bought several of these. These are like $80 new and hard to find. I found one website that sells them. This is an Apex USA 10 millimeter, and it's the 6-inch length. I found these on eBay, and I didn't get a bunch. I got a 10 millimeter, a half inch, and this is like a 3/8 12 point, and it's kind of beat up, but it's still got plenty of life in it. This one, and this is a 7/32. I'll probably never use that, but it was part of a lot, so I got it in the lot. And this poor bastard is a 5/16. He's wore out a whole bunch. Only used him once. I don't know that he's got any life in him left. But like I say, I was really after the half inch and the 10 millimeter, and they all came together. And the rest of this stuff is just like leftover junk bits. You buy something and it comes with a T10 in the package for you to put it together. Well, I keep those, and because a lot of times those sizes are more common sizes. So if you're fixing stuff, you'll need those. So I keep them. That's it. Thanks, boys.